Good afternoon, everyone. So, today we'll start our session with a new topic or a new chapter, and the name of that chapter is role. So, let us discuss what is role. So, normally we can say that role is a position or function or the activities of the people who are working in an organization. So, as I said, role means it is the position of a person. So, in the organization, we can find the different hierarchical position, right? So, hierarchical position means we can find the position of a person just like the CEO, then managing director, then general manager, then senior manager, then assistant manager, employee, like this, right? So, if we can find the position of a person will be changed, then we can find the function of a person is also changed, because the function or the activities of a person is purely depends upon its position, right? So as I said, the CEO of a company, so CEO means it is a position of a person, right? So and the another position, that is managing director. So in case the responsibility or the function of CEO is totally different from the responsibility of the managing director. Similarly, the responsibility or the activities of the managing director is different from the activities or the function of senior manager. So that means what? Now we can say that normally the role means the position of a person, and the one person can performing his task or responsibility on the basis of his position, or we can say that the function of a person is purely depends upon its role or position, right? So take the example of one educational institution. So in that educational institution, we can find the principal, then professor, associate professor, then we can find teaching assistant, etc. So see here, the role or the responsibility of principal is totally different from the responsibility or the function of a profession. Similarly, the role and responsibility of a professor is different from the role and responsibility of a assistant professor. Similarly, the roles of a assistant professor is different from roles and responsibility of an assistant professor is different from the roles and responsibility of a teaching assistant. So normally the principal. So principal is a person who is supervise the activities of all the professors or associate professor or teaching assistants, those who are working in an organization or in the educational institution. So the responsibility of a professor is to take class or take class as well as publish papers, write down some journals, books, etc. etc. But the role and responsibility of a teaching assistant is different. So the role and responsibility of a teaching assistant is only to assist the professors or assist the associate professor. So in this picture, we can find different people possesses different positions, and see here the roles and responsibility of first person is different from the roles and responsibility of the second person. Similarly, second to third to fourth, like this, right? So if we can connect the role with the organizational hierarchy, then we can say that the hierarchy of an organization or levels of an organization is classified into three parts, like top level, middle level, and lower level management. So the roles and responsibility of top level management is totally different from the roles and responsibility of the middle level management as well as the lower level management. So let us discuss what are the functions or what are the roles and responsibility of top level management and how it is different from middle level as well as lower level management. So see, normally we can say that to fix the objectives of the organization, to frame some policies or rules and regulations for the employees or for the organization is the function or is the responsibility of top level management. Or in other sense, we can say that top level management is responsible to fix the objective of the organization, then to form some policies or rules and regulations of the employees, rules and regulations for the employees. But this is the roles and responsibility of the top level management. But the roles and responsibility of the middle level management is totally different from the roles and responsibility of the top level management. So let us discuss what are the roles and responsibility of the middle level management. Right? So the roles and responsibility of middle level management is to create good relationship between the top level management and lower level management, as it is the name of the second level is middle. So now as it name suggests middle, so it is coming under or it is in between the top level and lower level. So the main responsibility of middle level management is to maintain a cordial relationship with the top level management as well as lower level management. Then another responsibility of the middle level management is to implement the norms or policies or rules and regulations which are formed by the top level management. So see here, the roles and responsibility of the top level middle level management is totally different from the roles and responsibility of the top level management. Similarly, we can find that the roles and responsibility of the lower level management is totally different from the roles and responsibility of the middle level as well as top level management. So the main responsibility or the main role of lower level management is to convert the raw materials into finished product. So see here, we can see that when the position will be changed, then the responsibility will be changed. So that means what, there is a reciprocal relationship between the role and position of a person, or we can say the role and function of a person. Let us enter into the definition or meaning of role. So a role is a position or function within an organization that defines the broader purpose and scope of an individual's contribution to the cause. Yes, a role is a position. Already I have said कि role is a position. Position means it is a designation. It may be the CEO, board of directors, then general managers. We can say the managers or senior manager, assistant managers, employees, employers, etc. and etc. Or we can say the departmental head. These are the positions, right? So a role is a position, or we can say that excuse me, a function within an organization. So the position is purely depends upon the function or activities of the people who are working in an organization. And here all the people, they can perform their position, they can perform their functions or tasks only to achieve the organizational goals. So the goals of an organization is purely depends upon the performance or the effort, or we can say that the labor of the individual people, right? So we can say that that role of a person is purely depends upon its position. In other sense, we can say that a role consists of patterns of norms and its position, and it is a position that can be acted out by an individual. Yes, it consists of a pattern of norms. Definitely, we can say that a role consists of various norms or rules and regulations. So, see, if position will be changed, then the person will form some the rules and regulations of the for that person will also be changed, or that person also form some different rules and regulations for the employees, right? So we can, or in other sense, we can say that it is a position that can be acted out by an individual. Yes, it is a position, and that position can be formed by the individual person. The content of the given role is prescribed by the prevailing norms. Yes, the content of the given roles, right? So what is your role? Then what are the norms are suitable for that norms, right? Or what are the norms which is suitable for that role or for that post or for that position or function. In other sense, we can say that each role has its own system. Yes, it is absolutely correct. We can say that each role has its own system, right? So, say the role of a production manager is different from the roles of HR manager. Then the roles of HR manager is totally different from the role of a IT manager. Yes or no? Yes, we can say that each role has its own system, because the system of IT manager is different from the system of production manager. The system of production manager is also different from the system of marketing manager. The system of marketing manager is also different from the system of finance manager, right? So it consisting of the role occupant and those who have a direct relationship with him, and thereby certain expectations from the role. Yes, so that role, it consists of that role is purely depends upon its occupants, mean the person who is acquiring that role, okay, and those who have a direct relationship with him, right? And that person has a direct relationship with him, and thereby certain expectations from the role. Yes, and normally the organization expects certain expectations. The organization expects something from the role or from the position of that person. So in other words, we can say that each role has its unique set of impact. Yes, it is absolutely correct. So each role is unique, and each role has some unique set of impact. Each role has some different impact or a unique impact on the organization. So see, the role of finance manager is some different impact, then the role of marketing manager is some different impact on the organization, and the role of HR manager has also some different impact on the management or on the organization. So that's why we can say that it is a unique set of impact. Then authority and challenges. Yes, the authority will be different as well as the challenges will be different. So see, the challenges for finance departments is different from the challenges for IT department. The challenges of IT department is totally different from challenges for the marketing department. The challenges of marketing department is totally different from the challenging for the HR department. So here we can say that yes, it is absolutely correct that each role has some unique impact and each role is posing some unique authority, or we can say that responsibility or norms, and each role has also some different challenges. So examples of role include managers, team leaders, departmental executives, etc. Yes, here we can say that the role of a manager or the function of a manager is different from the function of a team leader, and the function of a team leader is also different from the function of the departmental head or departmental executive. So a role remains relatively stable even though different people occupy the position. So see, we can say that the role is always remains relatively stable. Relatively stable means what? The relatively constant, even though different people occupying the position, right? So see, role will be same, but person will be different, right? Role is always constant, or we can say that it is relatively stable or relatively constant, but the persons or the people, they will be different, right? Suppose one person or one candidate is joined in an organization as a management trainee, right? So that doesn't mean that that person will continue his or her job in that particular organization in the same position for a long period of time, right? So the position may be changed, right? Suppose we can say that management trainee to assistant manager to manager, manager to senior manager, senior manager to departmental head. So that means what? Now here the role is constant, but the people are different. Okay, so see, we can I'm going to give you one more example. Suppose one person is acting as a senior manager, right? That person is a good senior manager, but due to his performance, suppose the organization will think to give promotion to that person from senior manager to, we can say that, the departmental head, right? Here that means what? The role of departmental head is different, the role of senior manager is different. When the organization will hire another person for the senior manager post, then that person will perform the same role, or the person will be the person will be perform the same function. Here the person will be changed, but the responsibility or the work will be constant. Okay, so previously I have given the example of an educational institution. So see, come to the same example. Take the example of take the example of principal of an educational institution. So see, all the principals, they are posing some different roles and responsibility, right? So if that person will be changed from, if that person will be changed, then we cannot say that the position, or we can say the function of that person will be changed. So that's why we can say their role is remains constant, but the person can be changed. Then let us discuss one more example. So role expectation include both actions and qualities. Yes, definitely we can say that the role always expect two things. One is action and second is quality. Action means what are the functions, what are the function, what are the, or we can say that what are the activities of an individual person, right? And qualities or qualities means what is the quality of that person, right? Let's say example, a teacher may expected not only a teacher may be expected not only to deliver lectures, assign homeworks, and prepare examinations, but also to be dedicated, concerned, honest, and responsible. Yes. So see, the lectures, to deliver lectures, then assign homework and preparation of or prepare examinations. So these are coming under the actions. But what are the qualities of that teacher? Now the teacher must be dedicated toward the organization. Then that teacher must be concerned about his or her roles and responsibility. The next one is, we can say that the teacher must be honest toward the organization, and that teacher must be responsible, or that teacher must be responsible for his position or for his work, right? So in other, or in other point, we can say that individuals usually occupy several positions which may or may not be compatible with one another. Yes, one individual usually occupies several positions. Yes, suppose one person will join as a management trainee. So then the person will after working few days or 1 year of time, then that person will get promotion. That is we can say that the management trainee to we can say management trainee to team leader, then team leader to assistant manager, then assistant manager to manager, manager to senior manager. That means another person is occupying the several roles, okay, which may or may not be compatible with one. It may be that person can be compatible with that role or not, but the position will be changed. Okay, one person may be okay. Here I'm giving you a best example, right? One person may be a husband, father, then artist, patient, with each role involving certain obligations, duties, privileges, and rights, etc. Right? So see, here we can say that in this example we can discuss that one person, the person will be same, but if the position will be different, then the roles, responsibility, obligation, duties, privileges will be changed. Suppose let's say example that person is working as a husband. So if one person is working as a husband, then that person has some roles, or that person has some obligation towards his family, towards his parents, towards his wife, towards his children, etc. So it is the obligations or duties of a person as a husband. But if that sorry, it is husband means what, like that person has some dedication towards his wife. But if that person is act the role of a father, then definitely we can say that that person has some obligation or duties or responsibility for his children. But if that person is work as an artist, right, then that person has some responsibility towards the society, because that person is providing service to the society. But if that person will act as a patient, right, then that person's role is also different, right? So with each other role involving certain obligation, duties, and privileges as well as rights, right? Then move to the next slide. Okay, what are the difference between position and role, right? So there is a difference between position and role, right? So an individual occupies a hierarchical position in a system. Yes, we can here we can say that one individual person occupies the hierarchical position. Hierarchical position means it may be top level position or middle level position or lower level position in a system, along with ensuring powers and privileges. Yes, previously I have discussed, if the position will be changed, then power, rules, responsibilities, duties, or privileges will also be changed, right? So see, if one person is posing high position or high level employee, then the roles, responsibility, and power of that person is different. But if one person is posing the middle level or if one person is posing the power of middle level management, then the power, responsibility, duties will be different, right? And the performance or the work is also be different, right? If and we can say that if one person is posing the role or the posing the, or if one person is coming to the lower level management, then definitely the power, responsibility, duties of that person will be different, right? Yes, so we can say that an individual occupies a hierarchical position in a system, along with ensuring the powers and privileges, and perform certain functions in response to his and the members expectation. Yes, that person can perform the functions, and that person can perform the activities related to his or her position and the members expectation. Members expectation means the expectations of the team members as well as the expectations of the organization. In this case, the former is the office or position, and the latter is the role, right? So the first is the former is the office, or we can say that the position means the person. If one person is posing the hierarchical position, or we can say that if one person is posing, if one person is occupies the hierarchical structure or hierarchical position, then we can say that that is the office, or we can say that is the person or position. Or the latter means what is the expectation, or what is the responsibility of, or what is the duties and responsibility of that person, that is known as your role. Okay, so position means authority and the role means obligation. Yes, so position means authority or the power what a person is getting, right? So position means normally we can say that power, okay, or we can say that authority. But role means what is the obligation, or what is your obligation, or what is your dedication for that position, right? Suppose if you are working is a senior manager, then you are having some power because you are acting as a senior manager, suppose, or a senior manager or team leader. So you are having some power because you have got a, or because you have got a good position, right? So that means you are having some power, but what is your role, means what is your obligation, or what is your duties, or whether you are justifying your position or not, we can say that that is role, right? So as we have discussed, that position means it is the authority, or we can say the power of a person, right? Or we can say that, and the second one is role means it is the obligation. Okay, so authority means what? Now it is the power to give command. Yes, if you are getting some position, then you have some power to give command or to give order to your subordinates for their task. But obligation or role means what is your obligation? Obligation means what? Now we can say that what is your commitment, what is your commitment for that work, right? We can say that that is obligation or dedication. So simply, since we can say that position with authority means to give command or to give order, then obligation, role means obligation or dedication, obligation or dedication. So obligation or dedication means what is your commitment towards the work. So let us discuss what are the difference between the position and role. So position, it is always based on the power relation. Yes, it is always based on the power, because previously we have discussed that role means, position means it is the power of a person, or a power to give command. But the role, it is based on mutually, right? So in case of position, the person is keep or reserve some power in his hand, but role, it is based on mutually. Role means responsibility. So one person cannot perform all the responsibility, so that person can take the help of others. So that's why we can say that it is mutually. The next one is it related to privileges, right? Yes, so your position is always related to the privileges or the rights of a person, but whereas the role is related to the obligations, or we can say that the duties of a person, right? And next difference is usually hierarchical. Yes, the position is always in a hierarchical form, like top, middle, and lower, right? So top, or we can say that hierarchical levels means top level people, middle level people, or top, as well as lower level people or employee. But in case of roles, or we can say that responsibility or obligation, it is non-hierarchical. So there is no hierarchy, or there is no levels in case of responsibility. Okay, the next one is it is created by others, but role is created by others and the role occupied, right? So see, the position or the hierarchy, it is not created by the same person, it is created by the other persons, or we can say that it is created by the head of the organization. So the position is created by the head of the organization, whereas the role is created by others, but it is not only created by others, but also it is created by the role occupied. So see, as I said, role means responsibility or duties. So see, the organization should assign the task or duties and responsibility to the employees on the basis of their skills, expertise, experience, as well as specialization, right? Or in other sense, we can say that there should be a match between skill and job, right? Skill and job, right? So if there is no, or if we can find there is no match between role and job, then it is not possible for a person to perform his job or to perform his task in a proper way or in a effective way, right? So that's why that role or the responsibility is also based upon the role occupied. Role occupied means the person who will perform the role. Then next one is it is a part of the structure. Yes, it is the part of the organizational structure, because it is related to authority, or it is related to power, but it is a part of the dynamics. Yes, it is a part of the dynamics, because it is not always constant, it is always changeable, or it is always variable, right? Because that role is purely depends upon the position of a person, right? If the position will be changed, then role will be changed. So that's why it is not always constant, it is always changeable. Then it is evaluative and it is descriptive, correct? We can evaluate the position, right? Definitely we can evaluate the position of a person, whether that person is coming under top level or middle level or lower level. So that means it is evaluative. But role it is always descriptive. Descriptive means what is the why we can say that it is descriptive, because it is related to some responsibility, right? If someone is assigning some responsibility to you, then definitely you will describe, or you will narrate what is your role and what you are performing, right? Whether there is a good match between your role and performance or not, right? So these are the difference between role and position, or we can say that position and role. Then move to the next slide. The next one is role as an integrating part of organization and the individual. Definitely this statement is absolutely correct, right? So role is an integrating point, right? Integrating means what? A combining point of an organization and individual. So previously I have given an example, right? One person is act as a husband, then that person is also act as a father. That person, the same person also act as a if you can say that, suppose that person is act as a manager, right? So here we can say that if one person is acting as a manager, then that person has some organizational role, that person has also some individual role. Yes or no? Yes. So that person has some organizational role because that person is act as a manager, so that person has some responsibility, or that person has some roles and responsibility, or some obligation or dedication for the organization, because he is working as a manager. At the same time, that person has also some individual needs, or that person has also some individual role, right? That person will be act as a husband, or we can say that son. That person also act as a father, that person also act as a employee, right? So see here, we can in this picture we can see that the organization structure and goals, right? So here the organization can achieve its goal through structure as well as goals, right? First there will be organization, then the organization frame its structure. So the frame is structure means divide the work among the employees and among the people in the form of role, right? So after dividing the structure, or after dividing the position on responsibility, then each and every person, or each and every individual will be responsible to achieve the goals of the organization. So for that they will prepare what are the efforts are required to achieve the goal. So that is also one type of role. Then second is the individual role. So individual role means what? Now what is associate? The individual role means the individual performance of an individual person, the individual performance of a person, or an employee who is working in an organization. So organization means one. Organization means it is the combination of, or we can say that where a group of people work together to achieve its common goal or objective, right? So see here, we can find the organization, we can find the existence of individual people. Here also we can find the existence of group of people, right? So individual people means every individuals, and group of people means where we can find more than one person will join together for a common purpose, right? So see, if it is related to the individual role, then we can say that one person or one individual person is responsible for his position or for his role. Then what is the personality of that person, right? So personality means what? Now we can say that it is a set of unique characteristics that make an individual different from others, right? Yes. So we can say that what is the personality of that person, whether the personality of that person will help to achieve the goals of the organization or not, or whether the personality of that person is related to the roles of the organization or not, or we can say that whether there is a match between the role and personality of a person or not. Then last one is your needs, right? Then what is the needs of a people? So the role of a person also depends upon the need or demand of the people. So that's why we can say the role as an integrating point of an organization and the individual. Then move to the next slide. The next slide is role as an interacting region between an organization and individual. Yes. So role as an interacting region, right? Interacting region between organization and individual. Yes. So see, already I have given the example of of a person who is acting, who is working as a manager. So that person has some individual role, that person has also some organizational role, right? So some case or in some time we can find that a person is bearing the same role for the individuals as well as organization, right? So for example, for example, individual to achieve the individual objective, right? So the individual objective of one person or the personal objective of one person is how to give his how to increase the productivity and how he or she will get promotion, right? So it is the individual role, it is the individual responsibility of a person, right? So see here we can find the organization has also some responsibility, or the organization also getting some benefit from the individual role, right? As I said, one person in case of individual role, that person will give more focus for the organizational benefit as well as for his personal benefit. So organizational benefit means what? Now it is coming under the common, or it is a interacting reason between the organizational role as well as the individual role. Then move to the next slide. The next slide is two role systems, right? So two role system is classified two role system. So that means the role system is classified in two parts. First the role space and second one the role set, right? Role space is totally different from role set. So let us discuss what is role space and what is role set. So role space refers to all the roles an individual occupied. It refers to all the roles, right? So whether it is the role, whether it is the role of a husband or father, or we can say their son, or we can say their artist, or we can say the patient, etc. It refers to all the roles an individual can occupies. But in case of role set, we can say that it refers to the roles of an individual plays in an organizational settings and collection of social relationship that a person is involved in due to their social status, right? Yes, it refers to the roles of an individual plays in an organizational setting, right? What are the roles and responsibility, or what are the roles one person is playing in the organizational setting and collection of relationship that person is involved. But what is the relationship? Sorry, what is the relationship of that person with the society, right? That a person involved in due to their social status. Due to the social status, we can say that the roles and responsibility of the people are different. So on the basis of the social status, how one person is playing the roles in the organization. In other sense, or in the second point, we can say that role space is the system of various roles that a person takes and performs. Yes, the same thing. So it is a system of various role sets, right? So different roles of a person and role set that a person takes and performs, right? So one person takes that role and performs the role, right? The role set is the system of organizational hierarchy. Yes, the role set is the system of organizational hierarchy because it is coming under the top level, middle level, and low level people. And here we can find only the HR people. Or here we can say that the role set the system of his organizational role. Means here the role setter or the person who is posing the role, that person can set the role for himself or herself. Then the next one is processes of role analysis, right? So processes of role analysis means what are the origin of role analysis. So role analysis is otherwise known as a job analysis or task analysis, right? So see, the role analysis is otherwise known as job analysis, or we can say that task analysis. So let us discuss what is the role analysis or job analysis or task analysis. So it is a process of gathering information about a job and to know the nature and characteristics of the people for each job. Yes, so it is a process of collecting or gathering information about a job, right? So what is the job and what are the what is the job, what is the roles and responsibility of the job, then what are the qualification or what are the qualities are required to perform that task, right? So through job analysis, the manager or the organization collect this type of information, right? Means what type of job is available there, then whether there is a vacancy or not. If there is a vacancy, then in which department or for which work there is some vacancies are there, right? So through that job analysis, the manager can collect the information about the job and to know the nature and characteristics of the people for each job. Yes, it is most important, right? So through job analysis, the organization or the manager want to know the nature or the feature or the characteristics of the people for each job. What are the people are working for each job and what is their characteristics, nature, or we can say their features. So in other sense, we can say that it is a systematic process of collecting the information on the nature of job, qualities, and qualification required to a job. Yes. So it is a systematic process of collecting information. So through job analysis or task analysis or role analysis, the organization can try to collect the information about the job, then qualities and qualification required. So what are the qualities and qualifications are required to for job? So that is known as a job analysis. So simply we can say that job analysis is a process of collecting information about a particular job. The next one is what are the uses of job analysis. So uses of job analysis means where there is a need for job analysis or where we are using the job analysis. So we are using that job analysis in case of human resource planning, recruitment, selection, placement, training, employee safety, performance appraisal, job evaluation, industrial relations, compensation and benefit management, etc. and etc. So see, first is human resource planning. So human resource planning means what? It is a process of forecasting the future requirements of the employees in an organization. So that is known as a human resource planning. So through job analysis, the organization also try to find out the vacancy position of the organization and who are fit for that post or who are or the organization is required what type of people or what type of employees for that post or for that position. So that is human resource planning. So for human resource planning, job analysis or role analysis is required for recruitment. So recruitment is what we can say that it is a process of recruitment is a process of searching the suitable candidates for the organization, right? So we can say that. So through that job analysis, first the manager or first the organization will identify what are the vacancies are available in the organization. For that vacancies, what type of people or what type of employees are required, right? So through job analysis, the organization can know that thing. Then next one is selection. So selection means what? Simply we can say that it is a process of choosing the best candidate for the organization. So through job analysis, the organization also select the best candidate for the organization, because so through job analysis, actually the organization try to know what type of employees are required for that particular post or for particular position. So these are the normally we can say that these are the different uses of job analysis. So we can not only use the job analysis in case of human resource planning, but also in recruitment, selection, then through placement and orientation, then training, then employee safety, performance appraisal, then job evaluation, industrial relations and compensation and benefits, etc. The next one is what then the classification of job analysis. So the job analysis is classified into two parts. First one is job description and second one is job specification, or we can say that these are the components of job analysis. So first one is job description and second one is job specification. So let us discuss what is job description, then job specification, then what are the difference between job description and job specification. So job description is an organized factual statement of duties and responsibilities of a specific job, right? So job description is describes about the duties and responsibility of a specific job. Okay, so that means when through job analysis, through job analysis, the organization can know what are the duties and responsibilities as required for a particular job, right? So it should tell what is to be done and how is to be done and why. So your job description tells that what is to be done, then how is to be done and why it is to be done. But next one is your job specification. Job specification is a written statement of qualification, traits, then physical and mental characteristics that an individual must possess to perform the job duties and discharge responsibility effectively, right? So in job specification, we can say that what are the qualities and qualification or what are the skill set are required to perform a particular job or task. So we can say that for that reason we can say that Job specification means collecting of job specification means what are the qualities or what are the skills are required for that post, right? So in simple sense we can say that job description describes about the duties and responsibility of a job, whereas job specification describes the roles and sorry what are the qualities or what are the qualifications are required for that post. So here in case of job description we can find that the duties and responsibility, but in case of job specification we can find qualification, traits and physical and mental characteristics. So see, we can find these things are coming on job description and these things are coming on job specification. On the job specification we can find job title, right? What is the job title? Then job location, where is the job location? Then job summary means what is the total summary of that job, means what are the roles and responsibility of the job. Then next one is your reporting to means if you are joining as a senior manager, then you are reporting to whom or you will report to whom, that is reporting. Then working condition, then you will see and you will also explain what are the working conditions. Then next is the job duties, what is your duties and responsibilities, etc. What are the messages required for your for that job, okay. Then next is the job specification. So job specification, as I said previously, so job specification involves the qualifications, experience, training and skills of the employees, right? Yes, just job specification is purely depends upon the qualification, experience, then what are the skills and the responsibility and the emotional characteristics of a person's, right? So that is job description and job specification. So let us discuss what are the difference between job description and job specification. So first one is meaning. So job description, it concise written statement explaining about what are the major requirements of a particular job. Yes, already I have said. So job description tells about the roles and responsibility of a job. But job specification always tells the what are the explain the minimum eligibility requirements for performing a particular job. So what are the minimum eligibility means what are the minimum qualifications are required to perform a job. Then list out. So job description list out the duties, then first the duties, then next one your tasks, then responsibility, etc., right? So job description tells about the duties, then responsibility and task involved it, right? But job specification, it involves qualification, then skills, then abilities and experience. Then what is it, right? So job description always expresses what a prospective employee must do when he will get the placement. Yes, so what is it means what means how what a person is supposed to do, that is express what a prospective employee must do, means what is a prospective employee must do in the organization when he get the placement, or when that person is selected by the organization, then what is the roles and responsibility of that person towards the organization. The next one is it express what an applicant must possess for getting selected, right? So see, what an applicant must possesses means what are the skill sets are required for that person to get or to occupy that position. So simply we can say that job specification tells about the skills, qualifications of a person, right? Then job analysis, it is prepared by prepared from, right? So job description, it is prepared from job analysis, but job specification is prepared from job description, right? So job specification, it describes about the job, correct, and job specification, it describes about the job holders. Then the next one is comprises of, right? So job description, it comprises of designation, people of work, then space, then scope, salary, working hours, then the responsibility, then reporting authority, salary range, etc., right? Yes, as we know, it is depends upon the roles and responsibility of a person. So designing, then we can say that design the work, then place of work, right? Where or what will be the location, right? Then scope, what are the scope and opportunities are available for that person. Then next one is your salary. Then what is your salary? Suppose you are working as a manager in an organization and you are contributing 8 hours of time, right? So see, but if suppose tomorrow you will get a promotion and you will become senior manager, so definitely you cannot give 8 hours of time. If you will give 8 hours of time, then you will give penalty for that, right? So what are the responsibility, what are the roles and responsibility? Then in case of job specification we can say that it is the educational qualification, it is the educational qualification. Then next one we can say the experiences, then skills, knowledge, age, abilities, work orientation factors, etc. What are required for job specification. Then traditional approach of task analysis, right? So what is the traditional approach of task analysis? Now the traditional approach of task analysis is classified into two parts. First in British model, second American model, right? So what is British model? So British model British model, it emphasizes the analysis in the terms of specific activities for which the job holder is held responsible. Yes, it emphasizes or it give emphasis in terms of specific activities, right? So British model is based on some specific activities, but American model is responsible for all the activities. Or we can say that it emphasizes on the competency needed for a job, right? Yes, sorry. So job British model, it gives more, or it gives more focus on the job holder, whereas American model gives more focus on the competencies or skill set what are they required for the same job. The next one is your need and concept of role analysis. So role analysis, already we have said role means the position or the function or the position or function or activities of a person. So it is why it is needed. Now it is a structured exercise to provide an overall picture of what role is supposed to be achieved, right? Correct. Then the rationale for its existence in the organization, its inner link, and the attributes of the role occupied. In other sense, we can say that it helps in influencing reciprocal expectation and in bringing objective to formal and informal exchange, right? Yes, it helps in defining the reciprocal expectation. Reciprocal expectation means what? Now we can say that mutual expectation and in bringing objective for formal exchange, which enhances the participative spirit by reducing the misinterpretation caused by the role ambiguity. Yes, the role analysis helps to decrease the misunderstanding, right? So because it is dependent, because it depends upon the reciprocal expectation, the mutual expectation from both the parties, and in bringing objective to the formal and informal exchange, right? So here the organization also makes some changes in formal and informal changes, which enhances participative spirit by reducing misinterpretation caused by role ambiguity. The next one is it is the major contribution for role analysis in the development of participative culture and team building. Yes, it is purely based upon the major contribution of the role analysis depends upon the participative culture and team building, right? So participative culture and team building. So the main contribution of role analysis is in the development of participative culture means how the people are involved in the work of the organization, means whether they are familiar with each other or not, whether they are sharing each and everything with themselves or not, whether they are giving respect to the culture of the organization and not. And team building, so team building is otherwise known as a unit, or we can say the team spirit, whether all the people they are having good relationship or good bonding or strong bonding among the people or not. So through an role analysis we can know that thing. Then it leads to the building of role dictionary, which contains the role analysis or the major roles in a department, unit, and organization. Yes, it leads the building of a role dictionary, right? So through this role analysis, the organization will build a role dictionary which contains a role of analysis, and that dictionary contains a role of analysis or the major roles in the department, units, or organization, or that person also bears the major role in the department, or we can say unit, or we can say that in the organization. Then what are the uses of role analysis and role dictionary, right? So role dictionary is a set of role analysis of all the major roles in an organization. So through role dictionary, the person can measure that person can play the major roles in the organization. Suppose sometimes that person will act as a department or a unit or a company. The purpose of the directory to increase the clarity of various in the organization, then key functions, critical attributes, as well as norms. Then next one is we'll discuss what are the role story helps the role occupant, right? So role directory helps to the role occupant. So how the role directory help the role occupant, means the person who possesses the role. First, need to have a better role clarity. Yes, if so through role dictionary, one person will get the clarity about his or her roles and responsibility. Then second one is to develop the required competency and skills to perform the function. Second one is what are the roles and responsibility, what are the competency skills are required to perform the job. The next one is to prepare action plan for achieving the objectives. Yes, so here we can say that the organization also prepare some action plan for achieving the objective under the key functions in the self development and career or succession plan. Right. The next one is to have higher role or job satisfaction. So dictionary analysis also helps to get this is also helps to get some job satisfaction. Then to have higher role or job satisfaction, then to reduce cost stress. Yes, so it helps, role dictionary also helps to reduce the role stress, right? The next one is to improving enabling climate for organizational development, right? So next one is in performing appraisal review, the development and job orientation, right? Or job rotation in performance planning. So the dictionary role dictionary is required in case of performance planning, then appraisal review or performance appraisal, then department appraisal, and the last one is your paper, or we can say the job rotation. Then the role dictionary contains the role analysis of several roles. So first is organizational position, role set, mission of the role, functions, then critical attributes, then norms, etc. So let us discuss all the roles one by one. First one is your organizational role position. So these are the key terms in the role analysis. First one is your role dictionary. So role dictionary, it is a document compiling the key functions. So that role dictionary contains the key functions, then critical attributes, then what are the norms for various key roles in the organization. The next one is your second is your role. So as we have discussed, so role is a position that is occupied by an individual in a social system. Then next is the organizational position. So organizational position refers to, or it is the point of hierarchy of the, it is the it is the point where the hierarchy of the organization as reflected in reporting the relationship. Yes, so the organizational position means who will report to whom, right? So who will report to whom, or we can say that a subordinate is answerable to whom, mean to which superior. So that is not organizational position. So it is the point in the hierarchy of the organization, yes, as reflected in reporting the relationship. Then next one is your norms. Norms means normally we can say that the rules and regulations. So norms, it behaves the expected behavior expected from the focal role occupied by other members of the role set, right? It is the behavior expectation from the focal role occupied means what? The person who is having good role occupied by other members of the organization. So Then next one is mission of the role, right? What is the mission? Okay, so there is a difference between mission and vision. Vision means what? Now what is a future goal or a future objectives, right? And mission means what? Now a path or a way is required to achieve the goal or objective. So that's why we can say that vision means the future goal, whereas mission means the way or the path which is required to achieve the goal. The main purpose of the existence of the role in the organizations, and it is the basic and distinct contribution to the organizational goals, right? And that mission and the way or path is purely depends upon the vision of the role. Then next, the role occupant. Role occupant means the person who is posing, or the person who is having the role. So the person holding and performing the role, that person is known as a role occupant. Then next one is your critical attributes. So critical attributes means it is the essential requirements and qualities of the role occupant which are vital to make the role more effective, right? So these are the essential requirements. Essential requirement. What are the qualities? What are the competencies? What are the skills are required for the occupant to perform the role? Then next one is what the role set. Role set means what? Now the proof of the significant role around and interacting with the focal roles, having various expectations from the focal roles, including the focal role itself. Yes. So role set means what? And the role occupant set the roles and responsibilities. So in the organization we can find the availability of different roles, right? So in this case the person can find out what are the important roles are available in the organization, and you are suitable to which important role of the organization. Then focal role is otherwise known as an important role, the role being considered and discussed for the role analysis. So that role is discussed only for role analysis or job analysis. Means what are the roles and responsibility, what is the role, and for that role what are the roles and responsibilities, what are the duties and responsibilities are included in that role, and what are the skill set, or what are the skills and what are the qualifications are required for that role. So that is known as a focal role. So after that, role analysis technique, or we can say that is RAT. Okay, so role analysis technique or RAT, that was developed by Thomas and Doyle in the year 1968. So it includes 4 steps. So the first step is individual initial discussions of his role by analyzing the purpose of the role in the organization, how it fit into the total range of the activities and the rational, right? So individual first step, so individual initiate the discussion of his role. So here the person initiate what is his role by analyzing the purpose of the role. So here that person will share what is the purpose of that role, what is the main objective that role, okay, in the organization, and how it fit into the total range of activities and how that person is fit for that post or for that job. Second one is your step 2. So it individual list in the blackboard in the blackboard his activities consisting of the prescribed and dictionary elements, right? In the second step, that person can blackboard or find out what are the activities consisting the prescribed and dictionary elements. Or in other sense we can say that other role include on other role improvements, and his immediate superior question him on the definition of his task. If there is a confusion in the perception, the ambiguity is clear, right? So see, if there is some doubt of the superior, so some doubt in the mind of the superior, then the superior can ask question to the subordinate to clarify his doubt. The next one is third step. So individual lists his expectation from each of those other roles in the group which he feels most directly affected his own work, right? In the third step, that individual person can list out the expectations from each of the other role, right? So in the organization we cannot find one person is performing the role. Here we can find the different people perform the different roles. So here the individual can find out what are the output or what are the performance of each and every role. Then role center states their expectations, and after discuss the focal role and the role center arrive at the arrangement among themselves on their mutual expectation. So first find out the focal role, or what are the important roles, and for that important what are the agreements are required, and what type of agreements is required between the parties, and what are the mutual expectations of all the people. Then the last step is individual list in the blackboard his activities consisting of the prescribed and dictionary elements, means what are the important elements are required for that position or for that role. Then other role incumbents and his immediate superior question him on the definition of his task if there is any confusion, right? If normally in the organization the superior assign the task to the subordinate, and the subordinate is always answerable to the superior, or in other sense we can say that the superior give command or order to the subordinate, and here the subordinate is always answerable to the superior. So if there is some confusion, or if there is some doubt in the mind of the superior on the performance of the subordinate, then or if there is any confusion in the mind of the superior, then the superior can ask the question to the subordinate. Then it is the rights or it is the obligation of the subordinate to clarify the doubt of the superior. Then next, these are the comprehensive role analysis. So comprehensive role analysis include different steps. First one is identifying the focal role for the analysis. Means what are the important role is what are the identify what are the important role. Then finalize the role set for each focal role, right? And there are different roles. Then for that focal role or for that important role analysis, what type roles are required. Then the focal role occupant and his role set the members discussion and finalize the mission or the role, right? So see here the manager will make a meeting of the role occupant to find out the mission and vision of the role. Then the focal role occupant writes down the functions as he or she offers to do that role. Then every other member, right, means the other people who are not involved in that role, so they will set the every other members of the role set write down what he expect the focal role to do while performing this said role, right? So what are the important roles are required when that person is performing the role. Then the focal role occupant consolidates the expectations for discussion. Yes, it is one of the most important step, right? What is the expectation of the organization from that role. Then the focal role occupant and the role set members sit together and discuss, and through consensus prepare a list of key functions of the focal roles, right? So they will, in that case we can find both the role occupant and the other people, they will sit together and make a discussion and finalize the list of functions that focal roles. Then they also prepare a little list of critical a list of critical attributes that are necessary to perform the job effectively. Then this is one example. Then these are the different steps which are involved for role analysis for performing the review. And thank you.